Yeah, we're good. I'm going to switch it up on y'all a little bit right now, guys. Guys, I remember one night, and just like I'm fixing to do right now, I was at a bar, or honky tonk, whatever you want to call it, dance club. And I set my guitar down much like I just did then. I had my back to the stage. We were about to take a break, and the band had walked off the stage, right? I set my guitar down and I turned back around, and when I turned around, there was this big burly dude standing behind me. What I mean by burly dude, looked like a weightlifter, man. I mean, this guy was, what do y'all call ripped? Good word, right? For an old dude. Yeah. Turned around and looked at him, guys. He said, "I like you." He said, "You sound like a DJ." He said, "You want to make some real money, son, give me a call." I'm all about money. Ain't about God anymore, right? Because when I was serving God, what did I have? I didn't have nothing, man. When I hung out in church like you guys are doing, I wasn't nothing but a goofy-looking bully kid. And I'm not hanging out with God anymore. I'm playing in bars, and people are coming to see me dance, or coming to dance to my music. Selling a lot of beer, whiskey. But he hands me a card, and I said, "I'll call you, man, because yeah, I'm into money." A few days later, I pick up and call the phone and call this guy. Come to find out, he is the owner of all the major strip clubs in Memphis, Tennessee. He says, "I've got this club over here. I'm going to put you in as a DJ, let you make some money, let you see how the other half lives." That's pretty cool. I mean, so I go over to this club and I start DJing. And see, now remember, guys, a few years back, I'm a 14-year-old kid at the altar of grace, right? I'm on my knees and I'm getting on fire for God. And here comes that spiritual warfare. Satan knew it, get him a friend, I could pull him further and further away from God. So I've gone from that to a honky-tonk singer, and now I'm a DJ at the strip club. This is how bad Satan opened that door, and I walked through it. I'm going deep into it. Man, it wasn't long I was there. And the owner walked up into the DJ booth with me one night. He liked me, and it didn't take him long. Me and him were buddies, man. Matter of fact, my oldest kids called him Uncle. That's how close we were. But it didn't take him long to figure out I had a head for business. And he walked up to me one day in the DJ booth and he said, "This club ain't doing what I want it to do. I may be fixing to shut it down because I'm losing money. You think you can turn it around?" I said, "Yeah, man, I can turn it around." He said, "Good, you're the manager." And he walked down and he fired the manager and put me in the manager role. Now look, guys, I was a 14-year-old big-headed kid on my knees. And now I'm the manager of a strip club. And it's all because of wanting to be accepted. You know, man, my last year in strip clubs, I made $150,000 taxes. That's a lot of money. Their senators don't make that kind of money. And guys, see, the thing is, don't think that Satan won't bless you. How many of you believe that Satan will bless you? Because you know what? I got in that club, and that club turned around one of the biggest clubs in Memphis. He used to go to it. Man, I didn't mean to say that. I'm sure I did, didn't I? But you know, the first time I was in this church, he walked up to me and said, "Man, I know you from somewhere." I said, man, you may want to shut up. Because you ain't never heard my story before. He said, no, I know you. And after he heard my story, he walked up to me and he said, yeah, I know you from that. But anyway, guys, this club exploded. I was making big money. He walked up to me and he said, I got another one down the street I want to change. Can you do the same thing to that one you did to this one? I said, yeah. Okay, you're the manager there. Now I'm the manager of 2 strip clubs, and that one turns to go. Satan is blessing me. Satan's trying to keep me away from here right now. 20, 30 years ago, he was thinking about this day. And then he gave me another and another club, and we started going over, even in Alabama, guys, we started going all over America and opening strip clubs. You know what the crazy thing is, man, you remember that beer I drank at that party? And that joint I smoked at that party? That's now turned into a 5th of Jack Daniel's whiskey every day of my life. And I drank my whiskey like a man. Don't put nothing in my whiskey. Give it to me straight. Like I like my coffee now. Don't put nothing in my coffee. My wife puts hazelnut. Y'all ever heard of that? That is crazy. Don't sissy on my coffee. Go give it to me black, strong, and hot. Like I drank my whiskey. Hey, you know that joint I smoke? That's now turned into an 8-bottle of cocaine every other day of my life. It's only by the grace of God that I'm standing here right now. I had one rule in my club, any of my clubs. You did not date my girls. They were my girls. I thought I owned them. I guess in a way I did. I fired many a bartender, DJ, doorman, security guard for dating the girls. If I seen you at Waffle House out having breakfast with one of them after work, you knew you didn't work for me anymore. Guys, I got down to Jackson, Mississippi. Opened up a club down there. I broke my own rule. I didn't only break it, I annihilated it. I met a dancer and thought I loved her and I married her. This is not her, by the way. You're welcome. Hey, this lady said you are going to be in so much trouble on your way home today. 3 hours you got to ride with a woman, huh? Happy wife, happy life. But you know, it didn't take me long to figure out that this girl had the same problems that I had. She had the drug problem. She had the alcohol problem. She had one problem I didn't have, dude. She had a boyfriend she couldn't get rid of. I ain't never had a boyfriend. She kept going back and forth between him and I until one day I told her, you're driving me crazy. I can't deal with this anymore. You're going to have to leave. And there were kids involved. And she said, well, if you throw me out, you ain't never going to see these kids again. I said, so be it. You got to go. And she did. Now, guys, listen to me. I'm fixing to get stupid. One day I'm at work. They tell me, you got a call, and I go into my office and I answer the phone. It's her. She says, I feel bad not letting you see these kids. You won't see them. I said, sure, love to. She said, okay, but if you're going to see them, you're going to have to come right now. And to this day, you can tell me to do something right now. You're fixing to find out why. But to this day, you tell me to do something right now, and I will not do it. I'll wait 10 minutes. But she said, you're going to have to come right now. She gave me an address to somewhere I've never been. That's 2 red flags. Now, I'm street smart, but you got to remember, drugs make you stupid. Alcohol makes you stupid even when you're not on. They control your brain, your mind. I take off work, guys, get in my car, and I head over there, and I knock on the front door, and here's where it really gets crazy. I knock on the front door, and somebody yells from around back, "We can't get the door open. You're going to have to come around here." You know this is stupid, right? Guess what I did? This guy looks at me like, "No, you didn't." Yeah, I did. Again, because drugs make you stupid. Alcohol makes you stupid. I walk around there and I notice the back door is open. Guess what? I walk in the back door. When I walk in the back door, boom, out goes my wife. She had a boyfriend, good heavy set guy, and he had what I call a brick bat. What I call a brick bat is a concrete pipe, a metal pipe filled with concrete. He was holding it like a baseball bat. Man, when I walked in the door, he swung it and hit me in the face as hard as he could. Down I went. So they had set it up to look like I had broke into this house. And they called the police and said I just found or killed my girlfriend's future ex-husband. Called it trying to break in our house, and I killed him. The police get there, and they check my vitals in their arm. So they get the coroner in the room. And you know the news is monitoring police radio, right? What a story for the 6 o'clock news. Homeowner kills a tree. Story of 6. And you know what's crazy, man? I remember laying there. And I remember being in a darkness that I've never seen in my life. A place with no love, no anything. Was I in hell? No, I wasn't in hell. But I've talked to a lot of preachers and stuff and asked them, what was I seeing? They said, God was showing you what the world would be like without him. Total darkness, no light. But a sheriff's deputy come walking in, man. And he looked down at me and he said, there's something strange about this dead man. He said, because dead men don't bleed. Your heart ain't pumping, you can't bleed. But he noticed I was trickling a little blood. And he reached down, he felt my jugular, and he said, this guy's got a pulse. So they rushed me to the hospital. I'll never forget it, guys. About 3 days after being in the hospital, or a few days after being in the hospital, I woke up, there's a doctor standing above me. And that doctor says, I'm not a religious man. He said, but somebody upstairs is watching out for you. He said, because 78% of the people take a blow to the head like that do not let them tell about it. And another 10% or so of the ones that do can't tell you about it because they're a vegetable for the rest of their life. He said, but you, unless you want some reconstructive surgery, I got no reason not to let you go home. And a few days after we observed you, I said, no, man, I don't want surgery. Send me home right now if you want to. See, man, I may not look like much now, but I used to carry a 9mm with me everywhere I went, even when it wasn't legal to carry. I was the kind of manager that would put a gun in your face in a heartbeat. And I hated God. Because you know how when the Christians would come, sometimes you'll see Christians go to strip clubs or Christian men's group or whatever, and they pass out trash. I didn't walk outside when I seen them out there, put my arm around them and say, hey, buddy, I understand what you're doing, but you can't do it here. I don't send security outside to get them off the lot. I don't care how they done it. because I hated God. I hated God's people. I hated everybody in this church at that time. And I was the kind of manager that would put a gun in your face. You did not mess with me. I was the kind of guy that if security came on the radio and said there's a man with a gun in the parking lot, I'd grab my 9mm, bust through the door, walk into the parking lot, start walking toward him, and say, buddy, you better get your truck, or I get my hands on him. Beer you want ain't going home. By the grace of God, nobody ever killed me. And I never had to kill nobody. See, I wanted revenge. I wanted to take my 9mm, man, and I wanted to look in that guy's eyes, and I wanted to stick that 9mm in his mouth and pull the trigger and watch the fires burn, hell burn in his eyes. About 3 days later, they let me out of the hospital, right? And they don't let you walk down, right? No matter what hospital you're in, no matter how good you are, the nurse is going to push you down. They push me down, and when we get down to the lobby, there's club securities all over the lobby. They're not there to say, we're glad you're alive or we're glad you're all right. They're there because they know, and the club owners knew, that people in Jackson were fixing to die when I got out of that hospital. So they got me and they brought me back to Memphis. They said, don't go back to Jackson. I said, okay, I won't go back to Jackson. But see what they didn't know. Any of you guys know what a 1%er is? No? Any of you guys know? Sound man up here, I used to be one. A 1%er is a real biker. A 1%er is a biker that will kill you. A 1%er is not Grandpa riding down the road on his new Harley and his new leathers. I had a lot of clubs. The last time I was here told the story, I could say the name of that club. They let me know real quick, don't say it no more. But I had a lot of biker friends. When I got to Memphis, I made a call. I done a lot of favors for them, let them sell their dope in my clubs, their girls work in my clubs, took care of them. I made a call, I said, stupid people show back up, right? At the scene of the crime, as they say. I said, guys, will you find them for me and let me know where they're at? They said, Steve, we owe you. Your name don't even have to be brought up in this. We'll take care of this deal for you down here. I said, no, because I want to look in this guy's eyes when he dies. I want to kill him myself. A few days later, that call come in. They said, here they are. We know where they're at. Again, Steve, we'll take care of this problem. I said, no, man. Where they at? They give me the address. They give me the address. I was going to tell you something. When I got off the phone, I left work. I got my 9mm and I loaded it heavy. You know what that means? I got every clip I had and I loaded it. And on the Zuzu rodeo, and I put it in the passenger seat, and I stopped at the liquor store, and I got me a pepper jack. And when I got to that address, to be honest with you, my hate was so bad, and my anger was so bad, when I walked in that house, I was killing everybody in that house. Except for a kid, I wasn't no kid. But I had intentions that if you didn't drop me when I walked through the door, I was coming through with guns blazing. I intended to kill everybody in that house but God. Now, I'm fixing to get emotional, guys. And I've told this story hundreds of times. Right here, I always get emotional. I'm driving down the interstate. Anybody ever been to Grenada, Mississippi? Anybody? There's an exit there at Grenada, Mississippi off the interstate called Paper Mill Road. Every time we pass it now, my wife will look at that and say, that's where God saved your life, right? Because God knew if I got down there that it was over, that I was not going to be here today. You know how God showed up, man? I'm barreling down the interstate. I see two pretty blue lights behind me. That's God. I pulled over there at Paper Mill Road at the end of that exit. And that highway patrolman gets out. And he looks at me and he said, "Where are you going so fast today, cowboy?" I said, "I'm going to Jackson, Mississippi to kill some people, son." You don't tell the highway patrolman that. And he starts laughing just like you. He said, "Well, you ain't do that another day. You can come spend the night with me tonight." And I've got a 9mm with all these clips. And I'm toe up drunk. Got a glass of whiskey sitting on the console. He takes me to jail. I get in jail, guys, and God starts turning up the steam on me. I ain't gonna be much longer, I promise you. God starts turning up the steam on me and says, "Steve, I love you. Come on. This is not the plans I have for your life. I still don't want nothing to do with God because I have revenge on my life." Club owners come and get me out of jail. They take me back to Memphis and they said, "Steve, do not go down there and do what you're wanting to do. Because to be honest with you, the state of Mississippi is going to kill you back for what you're fixing to do." And to be honest with you guys, I would have probably killed all them people stuck a gun in my head then and now. But they told me, they got me up in Memphis. And they said, "Look, maybe this will make you happy. We're going to give you the biggest club we got. A club called Tiffany's Cabaret." So he just looked at me, grinning. I remember Tiffany's. I'm going to tell you what, that club right there, guys, there ain't nobody in this church this morning dressed nice enough to walk through the doors of that club at this time. It was a show place at the South. Girls didn't walk around in T-bars or whatever. They walked around in gowns. I remember on a Friday night, they sent me up there. We had customers waiting outside to get in. 200 beautiful girls working. 200, can you imagine? I'm walking around the club. I'm a bad man. I got my glass of whiskey in my hand. Guys, at that time, I used to own suits that cost more than the car I'm driving. Car I'm driving don't cost much, but I had suits that were worth more than that. I'm walking around the club. I'm the boss. Guys, listen to me, okay? I hear God say something to me you never want to hear God say. And don't think he won't say it. God said, "Steve, I'm tired of playing with you. It's now or it's never." That was God telling me, "Steve, if you don't come home right now, I'm fixing to kill you." But God was telling me that these bullets that are flying by my head and me walking out in the parking lot with a gun, pointing them at these cowboys out in the parking lot that have guns, it didn't kill me. God was protecting me. But he wasn't going to no more. God said that in such a way, guys, that I fell on my knees in the middle of Tiffany's Cabaret. Whiskey went to the floor. Security gathered around me. They thought I was dying. They thought this life had caught up with me. They're only concerned at this point is they don't want to let the customer see the manager die on the floor. You know how many girls died on the stage when I was working? You know what we do? We go pick their bodies up, take them back to the dressing room, call the authorities, and have them come around back and get them some customers. You wouldn't know the girls died. They thought I was, what they didn't know is I was on my knees saying, God, let me come home. Forgive me. Guys, I stood up, I pushed security away from me, I went in the club, I got on the phone. I called the owner and I said, I quit. He started laughing, he said, why are you quitting? Are you drunk? I said, no man, I quit. He said, Steve, he said, I will pay you whatever you want to stay. I said, no, I quit because I made that man a lot of money. He said, I'll send you on a vacation. You've been through a lot. I will send you anywhere in the world you want to go. I said, no, man, I quit. And he would have. He would have sent me to Europe for a week. Go. He said, why are you quitting? I said, man, I just gave my life back to Jesus. And he started laughing. I said, I'll tell you what, you got 15, 20 minutes time. Get somebody to run this club. I'm fixing to shut it down. And he knew I would have. And it was packed. No quicker than I hung up the phone. Security runs in the office. He had already called. And they're not coming in there to try to talk me out of leaving. They're coming in there counting all that money in that safe because there was tens of thousands of dollars in the safe. I walked out of that club and I looked at the door handle of that Azusa rodeo and I focused on that door handle and I walked toward it, man. And I grabbed that door handle and I opened it. And I watched those clubs leave in the rearview mirror. You know what's cool? When I left those clubs, it's like the cocaine I never wanted again. It's like God took that cocaine away from me immediately. But maybe I wasn't ever addicted to cocaine. I don't know. But I know when I left there, but you know what's the first place I went when I left there? Now what I did was real. I gave my life back to Christ. I was going back to serving God, but the first place I went was to the liquor store and got me a bottle of Jack Daniels whiskey. And I went home. And I prayed and I took a shot. I read my Bible and I took another shot and I did that until I passed out. And I woke up the next morning and done the same thing. Now let me tell you something. I was such a raging alcoholic. If you wanted to catch me not drinking, you'd better catch me before my feet hit the floor in the morning. Because I normally had a bottle of whiskey sitting on the nightstand beside of me. First thing I'd do, I wouldn't go for coffee back then. I'd go for my whiskey. Guys, I could not stop drinking. Why am I telling you this? Why am I telling you I'm back serving God and I can't quit drinking? I'm going to church with whiskey on my breath. You know, preacher, I got thrown out of the church one time. We're sitting there on the back row, smelling like whiskey. Don't ever throw somebody out of this church for drinking. You let them come in because they're looking for help. That's what I was looking for. You know what the cool thing is, preacher? A few months, well, back about a year ago, that church that threw me out invited me to come tell my story. Me and my wife sat in the parking lot for about 20 minutes before we went in. She said, you're not going to say anything about this. I said, maybe I will. She said, no, you better not. Pretty cool. Guys, I went to rehabs. I went to every support group I could find. I did NA and AA and Celebrate Recoveries or whatever they had at the time. I could not let go of the whiskey. I'm about to end this. And I'm going to tell you something. Just because you have an addiction problem, don't let Satan lie to you and say, you're not saved. You're in spiritual warfare. How many of you have ever looked in the eyes of an alcoholic or a drug addict and seen death? Anybody? Me and my wife see it every day now because we work with alcoholics and drug addicts every day. You know, the first time I looked in somebody's eyes and seen death was my home. I was standing in the bathroom with a glass of whiskey, and I looked in the mirror and I seen death. And I said, God, what are you doing? What's that? I'm back serving you. I'm singing, I'm writing music for you, I'm going to church, I'm reading my Bible, I'm praying. Why do you hate me? I'm doing what you wanted me to do. I've got kids, and you're just going to let me die. Let these kids grow up without a daddy. Now listen to me, guys. I walked out of that bathroom, and I found the key to let go of that addiction. I walked out of the bathroom, and I walked into the living room, and I got on my knees again, and I looked up at God, and I said, God, I can't do this without you. I cannot let go of this Bible without you. God, be my witness. That very day, there ain't never another drop of whiskey touch my lips, because God broke that chain. What an awesome God. I'm telling you right now, guys, why was God doing that? Does AA work? Does NA work? For some people it does. But God was saying, trust me. Trust me and I'll heal you. Trust me and I'll take that chain. If you go to my house right now, on my living room wall, you remember I told you I was saved when I was 14 years old at the Bill Rush Ranch. I still have the Bible I was carrying that day, one of my most prized possessions. There's a shelf on the wall. And if you look up on that shelf, you'll see that Bible. And there's a cross beside that Bible. And on the other side of that cross is a half-empty bottle of Jack Daniels. That whiskey ain't for drinking. Because when I'm sitting down watching a movie with my family, it reminds me that my God is bigger than alcohol. My God is bigger than opiates. My God is bigger than heroin. My God is bigger than prescription painkillers. Guys, I'm fixing to shut this down. But I'm going to do something that, and I ain't talked to the pastor about this, and he said, do whatever God leads. Right here, right now, is the same power that brought Jesus from the dead. Is right here. The same power that brought me to my knees in the middle of a strip club is right here, right now. The same power that took that whiskey away from me in a blink of an eye is right here. How many of you guys ever been to a rodeo? What is this, cowboy church or something? What happens when a bull rider comes out? He's trying to get that golden egg, right? What happens when that bull throws that rider? What do you see? Huh? Clowns. And them clowns is tough. You got to be an idiot to be a rodeo clown. But them clowns run out, and what do? They get in between that bull and that rider, and they tell that bull, no, not today. You're not getting this rider. I hate to call you clowns. How many of you believe you could stand in the gap for somebody? See, the Bible says, I was looking for one to stand in the gap, and I could find no one. Now, I'm going to open up this altar. I'm going to sing another song. I'm going to open up this altar, and I'm going to tell you what, every one of you in this place today either needed to hear this story, or you got somebody in your mind that said, man, I wish my friend was here. I wish my dad was here. I wish my son was here to hear this. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to give you the opportunity to stand in the gap for that person right now and to tell Satan like that clown tells that bull, you're done. You're going back in the pen. You're not going to kill my son. You're not going to kill my daughter. You're not going to kill my mom, my dad, my grandchild. Not even that girl that works at Walmart that I know that is doing drugs. Now guys, I'm going to tell you something. If I told you today, I'm going, when I leave here, we're going over to Florence. And when I get to Florence, there's a young man in a hospital over there. He thought he had every chance in the world. He was an alcoholic and a drug addict. And when I go see him, he's stringing the life right now. He thought he had plenty of time. He got in a car doing drugs, drinking, and he had a wreck. Guess what? He can't walk. He lays flat on his back. He can't speak. And right now he's in the hospital with a blood disease. He's been in a nursing home for years. When I go see him, I hold his hand and I pray with him, and you can see his lips moving. He's trying his best to talk to me, because if he could, he would come here and tell you right now that today's the day that you need to quit using, or you need to get in the gap for your friend. Because when we go see him, we don't know if this is going to be the last time we ever see him. We're going to go sit with him and pray with him and his mother, his dear mother, at the hospital. Guys, I'm going to sing a song. And if you have a problem with addiction and you don't want to talk to anybody, if you've got an alcohol problem and you don't want to come up here, that's cool, because me and my wife's going to hang out a little bit afterwards. You just walk up to me. Or you go back there and grab one of those cards off the table and block your phone number when you call me, because that's going to be my cell phone number. And block your number. You ain't got to tell me who you are. You just say, I've got a problem. I need somebody to talk to. And I'll do it. Or you can come to the altar of grace and do it right now. And that person that you're thinking about that needs help, everybody in here knows somebody. So when I start singing this song, this altar should be full. Pastor, would you come up? And the men of the church, leaders of the church, please come up. Please come up and pray with these people. I'm going to pray with these people. And also a couple of ladies, if you're in leadership, if you would come up to pray with the ladies. But guys, I'm opening the altar right now. If you want to come, come and pray for that loved one. Pray for that person that needs a touch of Christ right now.